Welcome back to An Engineer's Life, Episode 20, Communication. You need many skills to be a good engineer, scientist, or technical person. But very near the top is good communication skills. Here I summarize what I've learned as the author of some 10 books, 200 articles, 1,000 blog posts, as well as being the teacher of some 5,000 students. Any one of us can be a better communicator if we keep in mind the 5 tips I will share with you in this short clip. There are many ways to communicate. Psychologists tell us that most communication is nonverbal. Whether this applies to technical communication is not important here because nonverbal cues have the same requirements as do all other communication forms. However, as technical people, we require words to do most of our work. Until recently, these words were either spoken or written. Now, with video and vlogging, such as with this all-web handling channel on YouTube, we have new tools that include graphics and motion. Still, no matter which form or forms we use, we must pay attention to 5 requirements that are common to all. There are just 5 requirements for all communication, with a 6th as an option for some situations. These are the needs to be confident, clear, concise, consistent, and conscientious. Occasionally, you may add a 6th that would be an appeal for some action by the audience. Of all human fears, death and public speaking are very near the top. We will have more to say about public speaking in an upcoming vlog. Still, confidence is almost always required for any form of communication, not just public speaking. Yes, there are situations where confidence is inappropriate. One example is when an expert doesn't know for sure. They should confess that they don't know for sure rather than bluster on with guesses. But for those great majority of cases where confidence is helpful or even necessary, I will offer 3 ideas. The first is that you should only speak on those things that you know well enough. No one is necessarily expecting you to be an expert, only that you have something useful to offer. You know something that most everyone else in the audience does not. Otherwise, you are not respecting their time. Even this rule can be broken, however. Sometimes it is useful to reinforce what people already know. The second is a hidden secret that especially applies to public speaking. That is, the audience is generally on your side. They want you to succeed. For if you fail, the audience also fails in the sense that they wasted their time listening, watching, or reading. Give them one useful thing, no matter how small, and you both might succeed with just that one thing. The third idea is that most everyone, including polished writers and speakers, start out pretty rough. However, this can be improved by learning from others and practice, and even more practice. I offer 3 ideas on clarity. First, don't use 3 words when 2 will do almost as well. Second, don't use a $5 word when a 50-cent word will work. Third, don't try and impress. Did you notice the last slide? 3 ideas and 4 very short sentences. Case closed. A reason for being both clear and concise is the same. That is, to be conscientious and respect your audience's time. That is not as easy as it sounds, however. As the saying goes, I would have written you a shorter letter, but I didn't have the time. Some have attributed this to the famous author Mark Twain, but it was probably first said by the famous mathematician Pascal. You should be consistent with your products. That includes pacing. If you write a paper for a conference one year, you should write a paper for that conference every year, if that conference makes sense for your message. If not, find another conference for your yearly paper. If you write a blog, decide on the day of the week and put it out every day at the same time. This usually requires a bit of pre-planning and a supply of posts in the pipeline. This consistently not only helps keep and grow your audience, it is also much more efficient for the creator. If you do a live speech or vlog, your energy and pacing should be reasonably fast and always consistent, unless you are trying to emphasize a point, in which case a strategic pause might be helpful. Last but not least, try and maintain a consistent quality. That does not mean perfection. Otherwise, nothing will ever get done. Just be consistently good enough. Whatever you do, your primary goal should be to help your audience or give something to your audience. Do not try and sell yourself or your product. While this might seem counterintuitive to marketers, it is quite different for technical people. You sell yourself and your company indirectly by giving your audience something they can use beyond what can be found on a website, infomercial, or sales brochure. Commercial language, such as using company names and trademarks, is forbidden in most technical forms and almost never a good idea when it is allowed. Trying to sell something at a technical conference is probably the number one mistake presenters make. Many organizations will never invite you back if the presentation is too commercial. Occasionally, a communication needs a call to action to the audience or readers. If so, be super clear on the who, what, when, where, and why. Occasionally, it can be helpful to entertain to achieve your goals, which are to communicate something that the audience can use. In fact, it can be necessary. In this fast-paced world, you have at most 3 short sentences and 30 seconds to capture your audience, whether it is a reader or a listener. Don't waste them on thank yous or blathering. Tell them what you are going to give them or entertain them for a moment, if that helps put the audience at ease. However, it is a delicate balance between being a bore and being a clown, and that balance point changes with the situation and with the audience. Thank you so very much for joining me on this journey. Stay tuned in the next episode in this Life of an Engineer series, where we will talk about the crucial role that video plays in communication and how to get started there. Please like and share if you found something here to inspire. It is your support that helps make this all web handling channel such a success that it is now approaching 100,000 hits. See you next time.